Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode here on the Davi channel on YouTube. And today we'll be doing a talk kind of video. I've done these before. I do have a series called Hangout/Commentary, but I think I'll make a new series where it's pretty much the same concept, but I want to replace the podcast section of my YouTube channel, because I think trying to connect, because I do have a Spotify, that's different. It's a different podcast, but I don't think it's a good idea to mix both. I think I should try building something specific on YouTube. So I do want to make something a bit more specific for YouTube, and the podcast will obviously have a video in the background, where it's a bit more where you can listen, obviously, but it's also visual. It's not some kind of time-lapse video. It's where you can actually see me do something, explore something and stuff like that. But anyway, today we'll be discussing CARA. It's a new website or app, and it's supposed to be a replacement for Instagram ArtStation. And for the past few days, it has been going viral, I guess, on Twitter or at Twitter X or YouTube. And they're saying stuff like, oh shit, like CARA is supposed to be like, it's the Instagram killer, and it's supposed to, like, for me, I think there's a bit too much hype on this on this platform. I mean, it's a cool platform. It's sort of a mix of ArtStation because you have this portfolio view, and it's also a bit of Twitter where you have this sort of feed, and it's essentially a combination of both. And it's marketed as something like it's by artists for artists. So that's interesting and cool, but maybe I'm going to be a bit negative on this one. I mean, first of all, I like the look of it. I like the background. It's all like black, so it's easy on the eyes. It's actually very considerate of the cave dwelling artists, which most of us are anyway. So it's not exactly new. Like, I don't think we're being shocked if you view or sign up for CARA. I don't think you're going to be shocked in any way, because again, ArtStation plus Twitter basically. However, by the way, side note, I did make a profile. Obviously, you need to make one to sort of get in. But whenever I tried to add a profile photo, it doesn't work. I actually had one previously, a different account, but I thought, oh shit, maybe it's because of my account is maybe old or something. So I deleted that old CARA account, and I made a new one just today, and I'm facing the same issues. I'm not sure why, but anyway, that sucks. So just experiencing this already kind of gave me like a shit vibe. Because I mean, fuck, it's a basic profile photo and it can't seem to fix it. I mean, anyway. But maybe that's just a glitch, who knows? I don't think so, but yeah, it's very reminiscent of Twitter, and I do see a bunch of likes, so there is a recent strong influx of people. I mean, it's getting like a couple of thousand likes here and there, so that's good. And I think people do compliment this app or this website because you don't see a lot of ads. Like, if you go to ArtStation, it's essentially like filled up with, like, even when you view someone's artwork, there's usually something on the side right here displaying someone's product, and I'm like, do I need to know that like right now? And to me, I do admit that's kind of freaking annoying. And obviously, CARA does have a stance on AI. It's not a fan of it, obviously. I think it's providing artists with a safe space for it, so that's good. And it's also a replacement, I guess, for DeviantArt, because DeviantArt is even worse than ArtStation because of the whole... Like, first of all, the UI isn't as good as ArtStation. Yeah. And obviously, I think the AI is even worse there on DeviantArt, and it's sad because that's kind of the OG, the old school standard classic website for artists, but it's pretty much dead at this point. ArtStation, as much as it did have the whole tone deaf response when it comes to I think it's still the standard. I mean, people are not leaving it. I mean, I know some people say, I've seen some artists that I admire leave that site, but I think it's still the standard site. So who knows if CARA will eventually get there. And by the way, I think CARA is still, it has apparently a small team. So if you're experiencing a slow feedback or whatever, or if things seem wacky a bit, maybe it's because of the small team. So just consider that when you're exploring CARA. But yeah, I just don't agree with the whole it's replacing Instagram. I mean, I've seen YouTube videos on this, and I think there's too much hype on it. And yes, Twitter too. We're supposed to. I don't agree with the whole deleting all of your images or artwork. I mean, I understand that it's being scraped, so maybe that makes you uncomfortable. But I think you can't really stop it at this point. And maybe that's me being a bit defeatist, but I don't think so. I think it's just you're constantly going from one place to another. I mean, this happened before recently with Threads. It's kind of the meta. Is it under metaverse? I'm not sure, but it's sort of it's supposed to be the app that's going to replace Twitter or X. And yeah, a lot of people said they were leaving, and some did leave, some did delete their accounts on Twitter, but I mean, everyone's back for the most part, and Twitter or X is still it's still one of the more reliable platforms. So, again, I'm not... It's a good site, and I hope it develops into something, and I hope it doesn't go the route of, selling out or whatever. It's a nice place for artists, but I think that's kind of the issue as well. It's not very inviting towards everyone else. Because, for example, here on YouTube, as much as YouTube, I mean, YouTube is a big place, right? You have the finance YouTube, you have the fitness YouTube, you have the food YouTube. You also have, obviously, the community, the art community, right? You have podcasts, you have political channels, commentary channels, reaction channels, and you get all of these sorts of subcultures, sub-communities within YouTube. And I think even if YouTube is not designed for just artists, you can still have a community of artists. So having this app, if this is the main selling point, just to be a place for artists, I think it's not going to be special, because you can have that on Twitter as well, or on X, or on YouTube, or on TikTok. And the plus side of those apps, of those major apps, is you do get to expand. It's not just you, it's people who like your work. It's non-artists as well, or people who kind of dabble in art. And maybe younger artists or beginner artists. There's a wide range of artists that are, and people outside of the artistic creative community that get to engage with your work. And I think it's sort of those people are going to be somewhat excluded from CARA in a way, because it's a bit too exclusive. And I mean, I get it. It's sort of like an art guild of sorts. This is where we kind of hang out, supposed to be, or that's the idea anyway. But I think there are way more advantages with just building, or if it's for networking too, makes sense. But I think you can build a better community on YouTube or on Twitter, and there's way more engagement, I think, that's happening. But again, maybe I'm being too harsh, because CARA is still not that developed. It's still somewhat young, so maybe it can become more. But I think in these times, you do have to be a bit different, and I'm not really sure what makes CARA different, aside from it being not ArtStation or not DeviantArt. You know what I mean? There's no plus. It's just not that other thing. I mean, I know it also partnered with Glaze or something. It's supposed to help your artwork not be scrape or something. That's the idea of it. So it's kind of anti-AI of sorts. So there's that, but it's more like anti or not ArtStation, not DeviantArt vibes, or not Instagram vibes. So on its own, I don't really know where it's supposed to go or where it's going. So maybe it's something that the CARA team can figure out. But I don't think it's going to pull a lot of people in, even artists. I do think it's a great portfolio site. You can link it, because it's kind of like ArtStation anyway, so that's good. But it really depends on what your intention is. For me, I'm trying to build the community, reach people. Hopefully, the idea is to meet people who like what I do, and I think just hanging out with a group of other artists. I don't know. I mean, I do know that a lot of people who check out my work on YouTube are aspiring artists as well, or students and whatever, or just dabblers in art or hobbyists. In CARA though, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, you need to be one of the bigger artists, the more established ones, and it's eventually going to be its own like club, which is fine. But I don't know, I just don't feel like... I think contrast matters. If all I am is an artist amongst artists, I mean, I already have that on YouTube, but I have way more too. Like, I can distinguish myself from other content creators. So, and I can do videos too on YouTube. On Twitter, you can post videos, and you can post obviously images, and you can write. Here you can write too, but like in other social media platforms, the big ones, you can already do what you can do here on CARA. The only plus is like the portfolio site. So there's that, but I don't know, like, my recommendation is to not be so attached and to not give CARA your all. Oof. Because it's... Eventually this hype, I think, is going to die down, kind of like the whole Threads. Like, we're all going to somewhat or somehow move to this new app called Threads. It's supposed to replace Twitter, and I think CARA is kind of going the same route, where there's all this talk about, oh, it's going to replace Instagram, DeviantArt, ArtStation, but I don't know. I think the main thing here is to make sure that you're working on your art, and to just stay and stick with your process. And you can always make your own website, so that's should be a priority as well. But I think before dumping all of your hopes on CARA, I think just don't be... the thing about artists is we're kind of naive and we're very idealistic, and that's kind of it's not really a negative or positive, it's just a characteristic. It's what makes us unique and special, but it can be used against us in a way, because we tend to attach ourselves to things. We're somewhat romantic in a way, or a hopeless romantic rather, and we tend to attach to like, we're very hopeful people. As much as we're very pessimistic, we're also very hopeful people, and I think it's because we're very emotional. Like, we're easily swayed, and I think that's the issue. A lot of us creatives or artists, we're easily swayed. By having this new thing, this new app, I think it's nothing more than the shiny object syndrome, where if something is new, if something is different and not the other things we've seen, like, like DeviantArt, ArtStation, then we'll dump our shit on it. And I don't think this will end. I think there will be more platforms and stuff, and I just don't think it's a good idea to, like, I think there's a bit too much energy and too much hype, and maybe I'm repeating myself here, but I think it's just it's very limiting. Like, who am I trying to attract here? I mean, if you want a portfolio page, you can make a website. If you want to network with other with other shit, I can talk with other artists, employers and stuff. I mean, there's already ArtStation. Do you think employers are going to look for people who do AI art? I mean, I think most companies are still focusing on people who can actually do art. I mean, I understand there's like a flooding, for example, in the marketplace on ArtStation. There's a lot of like AI art packs and stuff or reference packs, so it can get annoying. But other than that, it's still the standard. So maybe it's more of a time thing. Eventually, maybe in a year, 2 years, CARA may become the standard. But I don't know, constantly having to switch between platforms. I mean, I get it. It's also part of our reality nowadays. Like, we can't just limit ourselves to one thing. We have to be adaptable. So maybe this is part of it. But I think we have to wait for CARA to establish herself before we can really invest in it. And I don't agree with, I mean, if you're really concerned with the whole AI scraping thing, fine, but I don't think it's a good idea to delete like your stuff on ArtStation and or Instagram. Is what exactly are you trying to do? Because eventually someone is going to find a way to be able to copy your work anyway via AI or these types of programs or whatever. I'm just concerned because if you're trying to reach people, why would you limit yourself to this very exclusive site? Like, even if my artwork isn't that good, because I personally have issues or, I'm struggling with my own progress as an artist, but I think I've reached more people on YouTube. I've interacted and helped more people on YouTube. And even if I'm struggling with my own process, I feel like I'm part of a community. Do you follow? I'm not sure if maybe you feel differently. Maybe you do feel like you're part of a community on CARA, but I don't know. It's just, it feels like just another app. Oof. You know what I mean? Like, now don't shit on me. Please don't, bash me in the comment as much. But yeah, it's just, I do like the cleanliness of it. Like, it's not that flooded with weird shit. Although the big downside obviously is it's not safe for work not stands, but current precision, because I think they're open to it, but because of whatever reason they can't do it right now. But I think the idea is they're open to it in the future. But to me, obviously that's not going to be, I mean, Twitter just made it official that you can officially as a part of their site, you can make porn or publish porn on X or on Twitter. If you compare that with CARA, I mean, CARA is way behind. I mean, I know they've always posted lots of like 18 plus, not safe for work stuff, but excuse me, but to make it official on Twitter or on X, it's just CARA is so behind. Like, they have to find a way to catch up, because unless they open that side, I think they're losing a lot of people. And in the art community, the not safe for work part of it is a very big chunk, and you do get a lot of money that way. So it's sort of sad, because if you can make money or be in a place where you can attract people, which lets you get more money, then obviously that's where you're going to go. So if you can display not safe for work stuff, say on Twitter, which you can, or on X, which you can, well then shit, people are going to post there more and find their audience than say here on CARA, because like there's no question. And not only that, not only do they have not safe for work stuff that's allowed on Twitter or on X, you also have a way wider audience. You have a way wider reach. You're not just limited to other artists. Do you follow? So even that makes it even worse for CARA. If it's not safe for work stuff, for example, videos, CARA has to find a way to be able to, for example, I think, can you post animations here or videos? Because so far in this home feed, all I see is art, specifically 2D art. So I don't even know if the 3D guys or the animation guys feel welcome in this space. You know what I mean? Like, are we trying to exclude them too? Like, geez. Like, this could be a thing if you invited other artists. You can brand it as for artists, sure, but just 2D? I mean, I don't know. Make sure you add the 3D guys, the sculpture guys, the animation guys, and maybe even other arts. You know, like music, dance. And if you keep attracting those types of people, eventually you're going to like, this platform is going to be the site that's known for it's like the art site where people just go for art. You know, that could be a thing. But right now it's just not there, and who knows what their actual plan is. My recommendation again, or to expand on it, I'm not like, I don't even remember what I recommended a few minutes ago, but don't let CARA decide what your future will be. Before CARA, you have you. Ooh. So just continue making your art and make sure you find a platform where you can best express yourself. For me, it's going to be YouTube, because since I'm trying to study too and figure out my own art process, art journey, I think doing videos is a great way for me to explore that side of myself and express at the same time to the public what I'm going through, right? So yeah, I'm not sure what the takeaway of this video is. I mean, feel free to sign up to CARA. And again, if you have that profile icon thing issue, let me know, because it's kind of pissing me off. But yeah, let's not dump all of our energy in this app. It's a good app, and I hope and I wish the CARA team well. But they should try and expand the medium stuff more, like videos, maybe some audio. What else? The not safe for work stuff, you're missing that market. People would just stay on Twitter in this case, or on X, because they can link their Patreons there. And they can post like clips or snapshots of their not safe for work art, and then link it to their Patreon, Fanbox, or Substack, you know what I mean? So you're not gonna win this way if you have this cap on the kinds of art you can post on this CARA site. Yeah, these are my thoughts on the CARA beta version, CARA app site. So let me know what you think about this site, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. I'm not sure what to call this series, but I want to put it under the podcast tab on the YouTube channel and make it like a yeah. So join me on this YouTube channel. If you haven't, please subscribe, like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.